we assume that the government is not interfering with any of the business activities. Okay, so it can be any government or all the governments of the firm is like associated with, or the firm has presence in their countries. Okay, so we assume that government role here is to like protect the property is of the businesses and enforcing the contracts and settling any disputes if happening within the firm or between the firms, and protecting firms against foreign competition. Okay, we assume that our government is playing a laissez-faire role. Okay, if in this case market structure is kind of being divided into different. So when we say market structure, it's nothing but a nature and type of competition between different firms in the same industry. For example, we can't like calculate a competition between a company which is making water bottles and laptop. We can't do that. But among the companies who's manufacturing laptops, yes, we can able to like figure out the competition levels. Okay, and we can able to segregate, okay, what kind of competition that the industry is in. Okay, so the market can be like, or the industry can be like divided into five main types of market structures. First one is perfect competition. Second is monopolistic competition, oligopoly, monopoly, and duopoly. Okay, so there are like many other market structures. Sometimes people quote and sometimes don't. No, duopoly is included along with oligopoly. Okay, so based on the authors and economists, I mean, the structures might vary, but this is the kind of common types which is followed by most of the textbooks. Okay, let's see each of them in detail. Okay, with examples. The first one is perfect competition. Okay, so here we assume the market has a completely identical products, a homogeneous products. All the products produced by the firms, by all the firms in this market looks similar. Okay, maybe we can just take water bottles. So most of the times all the water bottles, let's imagine all the companies produce a similar type of water bottles. You can't identify, okay, which water bottle is produced by which company. We can't do that. Okay, in that case you can call that industry as perfect competition. Okay, so here everybody wants to like maximize their product, and here anybody can enter into the market, produce the goods and sell. Okay, here the number of buyers will be more, as well as the number of sellers will also will be more. Okay, there is no barrier of entry. Anybody can just make the products and then sell it. Okay, so maybe you can just take agriculture. So anybody can get into farming and then sell it to the people. Okay, and everybody in the whole world is a buyer. We cannot survive without food, right? Okay, I'm not talking about the processed foods. I'm talking about the fresh vegetables and greens and cereals, rice, and many more. Okay, so here we are not talking about okay, consumer only wants that, consumer only wants this. It's not about preference. It's about like what a lot of things are available. Okay, when you just take rice, we have brown rice, we have normal rice, we have different kinds of rice. Okay, if people prefer basmati, yes, there's basmati rice. If people prefer poni, yes, there's poni. And if people prefer like what do you call this brown rice, and most people who live in Kerala eat different kinds of rice based on their preference. They just like buy it. Okay, and anybody can make this kind of ha- I mean make these kind of products and then just sell it. Okay, here in this market the people are kind of well informed, and the buyers and sellers, both of them are independent. Okay, and so imagine what would happen if the consumers did not have easy access to like about the products. I mean, all the products will look the same. Okay, so if they don't have information about what the particular product is, what the particular what's the price of particular product is, they might, that product may not get noticed. Okay, so here people go for huge advertisements. Okay, so they spend a lot of money on advertisements uh, to get their product noticed. Okay, so the condition for this perfect competition is like buyers and sellers are really know what really happens in the market, and they know about the price, and they know about okay how many quantities are kind of needed. Okay, anybody can enter into the market, and even a buyer or seller, they can just enter into the market and then buy or sell. And even if they want to like close the business, they're free to do that. Okay, so here the market determines the price. The buyers don't have an you know authority to like dictate the price, as well as the sellers. Here the market determines the price. Okay, next one is imperfect competition. So this is kind of a competition where sometimes few markets will not like completely have the rights of perfect competition. Okay, sometimes they dictate the price, or sometimes there might be barriers to entry. So a few criteria might vary. In that case, we can call that as an imperfect competition. So most of the firms in US like belongs to this category right now. Okay. Next, we just discussed about perfect competition. Now we're going to talk about monopolistic competition. Okay, so monopolistic competition here, it meets this all the conditions of perfect competition, except they don't have ideal products. I mean, identical products. So here they were spending too much effort to differentiate their products. Okay, so here we can just talk about toothpaste. Toothpaste looks the same. I mean, all toothpaste. I mean, we are able to like maintain oral hygiene through this toothpaste. But a few toothpaste have few different traits. I mean, some are like help you to like help you to recover from your tooth sensitivity, and some make your teeth go white, and some like is more into like killing germs. Okay, so each of the toothpaste companies like have different products based on the different um, what do you call different characteristics. Okay, so you can't just call all toothpastes are similar. Okay, so this is where most of the industry markets will be there. Okay, this is the realistic classification. Okay, so here there will be like large number of buyers and large number of sellers, as we have it in the perfect competition, but we don't have a homogeneous products. Okay, here the firms spend a lot of money, a lot of efforts in differentiating their product. Okay, so even sometimes if the products are like identical, they put a lot of effort to hypothetically distinguish it from the rest of the competitors products. Okay, so they bring up some imagined differences as well. Okay, so an example here is like a toothpaste or a cereals. Yes, there is different flavors available in cereals, right? Yeah, so it's just cereals, but there are different flavors available. Imagine if all the cereals have the same flavors and taste, we can categorize that in the perfect competition. Okay, but since they don't have a similar taste always, we are bringing this here to a monopolistic competition, and same rule applies for our toothpaste as well. Okay, so we have some other category called non-price competition here. Here they actually focuses on the firms focus on like differentiating the product appearance, quality, and design. They work on the product differentiation, and but they don't like change its price. Okay, the price looks the similar, but the products looks different. Okay, they do this to differentiate their product. Okay, this is actually under non-price competition. Okay, so actually this leads to profit maximization behavior. um, what, even in previous category as well, perfect competition as well, the aim of all the firms in that industry is to maximize their product. And you take any firm in any type of competition, everybody wants to earn money except for the NGOs, right? So everybody wants to maximize their revenue, minimize their cost, optimize their productivity. Yes, everybody wants to do this, right? Okay, so, as like the perfect competition firms, here it is easy for all the firms to get into this industry. Okay, next one is monopoly. Okay, so this is actually a unique industry or a market where you have only one seller. Okay, no, there is no competitor at all. So that monopoly firm becomes a price dictator. So whatever price that firm says, it get fixed in the market and people will be buying it. So here the buyers has will be highly affected because they don't have any variety. Very good example for this is like our Indian railways, because there's no competitor in the railway category unless it is getting privatized. And we could say local cable TV channels, in a particular area locality. Okay, so imagine you live in a very remote village in Coimbatore district, and then you have only one local cable TV operator providing services for you. Yes, then he doesn't have any competition. Okay, so very few industries have this kind of market structure, And earlier, we had telephone companies, but right now it's not. In the olden days in India, I mean, BSNL was the only service, only provider for telephone service. But right now, I mean, for landline phones, I'm saying. But right now, we have other telephone companies coming into picture here, like Tata, Airtel, and everybody's into this, right? Reliance. Okay, so local cable TV providers. Yes, we discussed about this. Okay, there are different types of monopolies. If it is like a natural monopoly, I mean, here the average cost get minimized. So since there's nobody is in the competition, so all the demand becomes my supply. So I will be able to produce more goods. So when I able to produce more goods, my cost of production decrease. So I'll be able to give it at a low cost. Okay, yes, sometimes people will enjoy the benefits. Okay, so the Indian Railways is a very good example. Since a lot of people are trying to use this, most of the time the railway tickets is comparatively lesser when you like compare your tickets with the ticket fare with your through when you commute through bus or air, right? Next one is geographic monopolies. I mean, when you have only one gas station in your town, when you have only one cable TV operator, when you have only one store selling mobile phones. Okay, so that is geographical monopolies. Next one is like technological monopolies. Here, you just like made some invention, made some discovery, created a machine, and then and you got a patent from the government, or saying, okay, in that case, I mean, you're the only person who can, you will be able to make that product. Okay, so this is example of technological monopolies. Next one is common monopoly. Yeah, here, as I was saying, Indian Railways can be example, and city water supply. Yeah, let's just talk about what was happening few years back. Right now, people, I mean, the government is trying to outsource this as well, water supplies. But I'm just like talking about things what was happening earlier. Okay, in Coimbatore, like the water supply is mostly done uh, by the government, by the corporation. Okay, so next one is duopoly. So unlike monopoly, here you will be having only two firms. Okay, there we have just will be having only one company. Here we'll be having two large firms. Okay, so here the person, one of them will be always a leader, and the next one would be a follower. So when the price leader like increase the price, the rival might increase the price, or sometimes when they decrease the price, the rival will decrease the price. So actually, like based on the what the market leader is doing, the follower will do it. And here there's a lot of barriers to entry, so these two firms will never allow any to entry, or then it might require a lot of cost in entering into this market. Okay, so but when they invest a lot of money, then you might get a very good profits here. Okay, so for example, we can say Pepsi and Coke. Yes, we have other carbonated drinks, but nobody has a market share like Pepsi and Coke. And we have Android and Apple is a very good example. Okay. So here, actually, this duopoly falls between the monopoly and oligopoly. So monopoly is like when the industry has only one firm providing services, whereas oligopoly is having a very few firms, not like multiple firms, very few firms, between like three to five. Okay, so when you have two, you can call that as duopoly. Sometimes people combine this duopoly with oligopoly. Okay. Next is duopoly. So when you have very few sellers dominating the industry, like from three to five, you can call that as a oligopoly market. So here the products will be completely different when compared to the perfect competition. Okay, here they actually have an interdependent behavior. Okay, when one person like increase the price, the rest of them will follow. When they decrease the price, the rest of them will follow. And they are look when one company is like looking for to differentiate the product, so the others will also do that. Okay, so they actually follows the trend. Okay. So maybe we can just say cell phone manufacturers is also, we can say, it belongs to oligopoly market. Okay. So here there is a non-price competition. Okay. So here they use the market influence to set the prices, and then so that they will be able to get more profits. Okay. So here the consumer actually just take products from each of them, and they don't have authority to like fix the prices. Okay. Okay, so here when you like plot the demand and supply, here we get a kink to demand curve. So we have price and quantity in our x and y axis. So usually, we know the demand curve, elastic demand curve. So when the price increases, quantity decreases. Okay. So imagine we have this at a point with £5 and the quantity is 100. Okay, so for the inelastic demand curve, you can see a steep line here because there is no difference in the decrease in price. The quantity required is almost the same. There's a slight increase. Okay. Okay. So here we have the kink demand curve. Okay, in the oligopoly, so when the price starts decreasing, the quantity will be like kind of like will be demanded more, but over a certain point that there the quantity increase will fall. The marginal increase will be little less when compared to the earlier one. So here we get a kinked demand curve. So the curve is kind of more elastic above the kink, and it becomes less elastic below the kink. Okay, so the price increase is less than the response to the price decrease. Okay, so next one is economic scale. I think you all know what is economic scale means. It's actually when the firm is trying to manufacture many products, the average production cost will actually decrease for each of the product. Your per unit will decrease. When you produce more quantity, the cost of production will decrease. Actually, that is economics of scale. So in this market structure, economics of scale will apply. Okay, so when they tend to produce more products, the firm will be able to like decrease the production cost. So now this actually tells us like we discussed this in Monopoly as well, right? So when the firm is kind of very big and they are the only one who's offering that services, and everybody is getting the same services, they'll be able to provide that service with a very less cost. Okay, so the people can enjoy the benefits. Indian Railways is doing this, right? Yeah, so far we have been like discussing about five different market structures: perfect competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, duopoly, and monopoly. Okay, got any clarifications on this?